Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Arakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to you, elect Aki and Bush in this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect so Yahweh Shai can return and get us up on out of here. All right. And Lord willing, I'm one of those men. Quick lesson, man. Give me a second. Let me blow my nose. Quick lesson, man. Oh, shoot. I'm going to show you this TikTok. Of this guy. He goes into the most suppressed news around the world right now, okay? And I want you to ask yourself, what do they all have in common, okay? All right? And I'm going to bring out some scriptures, and that's going to be that, okay? All right.
News headlines this week. Here are the most suppressed news headlines this week. Google gave ICE a student.
All right, we all know what suppressed news is, right? All right, news that's suppressed and doesn't want, and for some reason, is being suppressed. All right, let's get the word suppressed, okay? All right, suppressed means held in check, restrained, or prevented from being known, expressed, or published, often by force or authority. All right, so this news that this man's better bring out is something that is, these are all trying to be, how do you say it? This news is being prevented from being known. All right. So for some reason, all this news that this man's about to bring out is being suppressed. Okay. Trying to be prevented from being known and seen and read. All right. By people. Okay. For some reason. And once you find out, which I'm going to tell you after I'm done showing you the TikTok, but once you find out the common denominator with all the news, that suppressed news that you're about to see, what they all have in common is, all right, and you'll find out why it's being suppressed and being known, okay, because it exposes, all right, one key aspect of life, all right, in the Bible, all right, and that is who the devil that the Bible speaks of, okay? That's the common denominator with all the suppressed news. That's what it all has in common, all right? It shows you and exposes who the devil is, all right? The devil that the Bible speaks of, okay?
Journalists' bank and credit card data without notice. The United States covertly smuggled 6,000 Starlink terminals into Iran while denying a role in the unrest. Israeli settlers wound 54 Palestinians in West Bank attacks under military protection. Federal judges have ruled that ICE detained over 4,000 people illegally since October. Bessent confirms U.S. engineered Iran's dollar shortage that triggered recent protests. ICE secretly leased over 150 offices across the United States near schools, churches, and hospitals. Cops purchased GeoSpy, an AI that geolocates photos in seconds, according to a 404 Media investigation. Elon Musk's X, formerly known as...
Hey, that AI, all you have to do is, it could take any photo, all right, that AI could take any photo and pinpoint where that photo was taken, all right, and I seen it in action, all right. All a person did, it was a picture of a room. It was dark outside, and some window blinds, and it was a room with a table in the middle and some chairs. And that AI detected, all right, that it was, I forgot where it was, but it found out exactly where that picture was taken, man. I think it was in California or New York. All right. But yeah, it was crazy, man. And the picture was just, nobody could tell where that picture was taken. It could have been taken anywhere, But yeah.
Twitter sold premium subscriptions to sanctioned Iranian officials. A United States Marine says federal agents cloned his phone without a warrant in Minneapolis. Texas is investigating student immigration protests after anti-ICE school walkouts. A proposed bill in Arizona would jail people for alerting other people about ICE. Leaked files show ICE tripled Microsoft usage for data and AI analysis tools. Social Security workers have been told to share appointment time and data with ICE. Representative Ted Lieu says the Epstein files allege Trump children and urges Department of Justice resignations. The death toll in the Gaza has far surpassed 75,000, according to peer-reviewed studies from The Lancet. The Israeli government installed surveillance equipment at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment. The FBI targeted climate activists under Trump's domestic terror directive. Israeli settlers killed a American teenager in occupied West Bank. Yet another American citizen killed by Israel ignored by mainstream media. And finally, Israeli firms selling tools that hack into your car's cameras and microphone for spying and surveillance purposes. These are the top headlines from this week that were massively suppressed and ignored by mainstream and legacy news in the United States and the broader Western media landscape. Here are the...
And the answer to the question that I gave you viewers is what all those headlines had in common is that the so-called white man is behind all that, man. All right? The so-called white man is, is behind doing all that, man, all that wickedness, And us men of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, we know, all right? We don't just preach and teach, but we believe and we know that Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of, is the so-called white man, okay? And no, we're not talking about every single white person. We're talking about the elites of Esau and those that are Edomites, okay? Because hey, you'll get a chocolate covered or a brown Edomite, okay? Because it doesn't matter what you look like. It's what matters who your father's bloodline goes back to. And if it goes back to an Edomite, it don't matter what you look like. You're an Edomite, and you're gonna be wicked because that's what Edomites are. That they're wicked. All right, that's why the earth is the way it is, because the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai has given the world into the hands of the wicked. All right, and look what the wicked is doing with the world in his hands. All right, destroying it, doing all types of wickedness. All right, but the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai is exposing who the wicked that the Bible speaks of, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay. All right, Tawadi Yahweh Shemiah Shai for having a man like this, this guy right here, to go into news and bring it out for us men of Yahweh Shemiah Shai to filter it out with the scriptures, man. All right, because I could go into every single one of those little news articles and do a lesson on that. But I'm going to do a lesson on this, man, But yeah, man, this guy, I'm going to follow him. VPS reports _reports, man, I'm gonna start watching his content, maybe do some lessons, man, stay up to date with, more up to date with current events, But yeah, man, Esau, Edom, all right, the nation of Edom, Idumea, all right, is the so-called white man. But you'll get some white people that look white, all right, but they're actually Israelites, all right. Their bloodline, their father's bloodline goes back to an Israelite man, a black Latino Native American man, okay. You know, that's why they become outcasts, all right, outcasts amongst their people, or they're better than their people in some type of way. Because Israelites are the salt of the earth. And you'll get white people that have salt, you know, like Tom Brady, Justin Timberlake, okay. Who else? All right. Bruce Lee. He's not an Edomite. He don't look like a white person, but he looks Asian. But he's the salt of the earth, man. I just seen a video of him do some crazy things, man. All right, some godlike things. You know, he has crazy amount of strength. All right, and he also drank Hennessy. You know, but hey, that's beside the point. You know, he's an Israelite, even though he looks like an Asian, a non-Israelite. Okay, but hey, man. Back on topic, you know, the so-called white man is the nation of Edom, and he's behind all the wickedness of the earth, man. All right, because he runs the world. The earth has been given into his hands. You know, that's why the earth is the way it is, inside and out. The water is polluted. Everything's polluted. All right, the people are polluted. People are dying. All right, everybody's suffering. The scriptures say when the wicked are in authority, all right, the people mourn, and the people of this earth are mourning and mourning, all right? But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, all right? But, hey, look at the people around the world. For the most part, they're mourning, okay? So, hey, that's how you know the wicked are in rulership right now. The scriptures say Esau, all right? Esau, Edom is going to be the end of the world, but Jacob is going to be, all right, Israelites will be the beginning of it that followeth, all right, the kingdom of heaven. So, hey, if we all know that we're at the end days, then Esau, Edom would be ruling the end days, all right? Everybody can agree that we're in the end days that the Bible speaks of. Not everybody, but for the most part, people believe that, hey, we're in the end times. All right, so if Esau is going to be ruling at the end of the earth and in these times, so just look around you and ask yourself, hey, who's ruling the earth? It's the so-called white man. So he has to be the nation of Edom, all right? And he's the one doing all this wicked stuff, man. All right, border of wickedness. Is it this one? Oh, yeah, it's right here. This is Malachi 1:4. It says, whereas Esau saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. All right. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So when you go into this word border, all right, it means territory, border, all right, the region, all right, who the wicked is, all right, the region, all right. So Esau is the wicked, all right, Esau, Edom, all right, the border of wickedness, all right, the people, all right, against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So Esau is the wicked. So when the Bible talks about the wicked, all right, the man of sin, it's not talking about one person, one man. It's talking about Esau, Edom, all right, the wicked, all right, which is the nation of Edom, okay? Because in the scripture it talks about Edom, all right? It's not talking about one person, it's talking about a nation of people, the Edomites, and they're the border of wickedness. So when you read 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Okay? This isn't talking about one man, this is talking about the Edomites. Okay? The man of sin, all right? Or not the Edomites, the border, all right? The place of wickedness, all right? The Edomites, the people of Edom. We're not talking about one man, all right? 5 verses down, same chapter, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, so the wicked, Esau, we all know. So since we know the border of wickedness is who? The Edomites. So who is this talking about? The wicked, it's talking about the Edomites. All right, when it says the wicked. So you could just switch the word wicked with the Edomites. All right, we all know who the Edomites are, the so-called white man. All right, because the end of the world is, Esau's the end of the world. We're at the end of the world, so who's ruling the end of the world? It's not the Asian man, not the Latino man, not the black man. It's the white man, okay? You know, Esau. And we know that Esau's the border of wickedness. So this is talking about the Edomites, the so-called white man. And then shall that wicked, all right, the wicked that the Bible speaks of, the Satan's seed, the seed of the serpent, all right, the devil that the Bible speaks of, okay, this is talking about the white man. And then shall that then shall that wicked be revealed. So the Lord has revealed, okay, to the whole world. He's revealing who the wicked of the Bible is, the devil that the Bible speaks of, for that is the so-called white man. All right, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And the Lord is consuming this devil, exposing him, bringing him down from his high horse. All right, like the scriptures say, his pomp shall be brought low, man. All right, his pride. All right, and the Lord is exposing the world for who this devil is and what he's about. A.K.A. the Epstein Files. All right, Pam Bundy. I did this, man. Let me see. I was seeing if Pam Bundy actually said this. All right. Did Pam Bundy say, if we prosecute everybody in the Epstein Files, the whole system would collapse? Because that was going on, around in social media. It says maybe. It says based on reports, there's no evidence, but this lady she's responsible with handling and releasing the Epstein Files, but they're redacting people's names, but they're also not redacting. All right, they're not redacting the victims. All right, and people are actually unredacting these Epstein Files, and it's these elites. All right, these politicians, Donald Trump. All right. So that right there makes sense. All right. It's her actions. All right. Knowing that the Epstein Files were released like that the victims weren't blotted out, but everybody else was. All right. The people actually doing the wicked stuff, these politicians and whatnot, okay, they're doing this wicked stuff. So, hey, if they were prosecuted, Donald Trump was prosecuted, and these other people, all right, that were in the Epstein Files, the system would collapse, because Who runs the system? The so-called white man. And he's coming out to be, and the Lord is revealing, all right, that what these elites and these politicians, these rulers of the world, which happen to be so-called white people, all right, the Lord is revealing to the whole world and to everybody what he's doing to little children, okay? He's doing satanic rituals, and that they're Satan, the devil that the Bible speaks of, okay? And the men of Yahweh Shemiel Shai have been saying this, all right, this whole time. That's what it means when it says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, okay? The Lord is bringing out the truth, all right, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord is going to, the solution of all this is destroying the so-called white man, all right, by way of the Lord. The Lord's going to do it, all right, himself, all right, by making this devil shoot nuclear missiles at each other, all right. John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, the lust thereof, the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, all right. That's the characteristics of a so-called, of Esau Edom, all right, just murderers, all right, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him, all right. All these Edomites do is lie, okay. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it, okay. And the word devil means deceiver, and who's the most deceptive person on earth? The so-called white man. And he's trying to suppress all that news that came out, for, you know, because it's exposing the wickedness that this white man's doing, okay. Revelation 6:4 says, and there went out another horse that was red, all right, and this red horse symbolizes Esau Edom and his red ass, all right, his blood showing through his skin, all right, because Esau, when he came out, he was red, all right, he was red complected, okay, talking about his skin was showing, okay. And power was given to him that sat thereon, all right, so the Lord is giving the so-called white man power over the earth, all right, and was given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. That's what this devil's doing, man, taking peace away from the whole earth, all right, like the scriptures say, he oppresseth a man, even a man in his household, even a man in his heritage, okay. This man has taken literally all the peace away from the earth, man, all right. That's why the Lord's going to come and destroy him with the brightness of his coming, man. All right, the Lord's going to destroy him who destroys the earth, roughly paraphrasing. Psalms 85:11, it says, truth shall spring out of the earth. The Lord is showing everybody the truth for who this devil is. People are realizing it, okay? The Lord is literally making this so-called white man telling on himself, all right, exposing himself, you know. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall shall look down from heaven. Okay. 2 Ezra 6:28, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish. Okay. Corruption shall be overcome. All right. The Lord is, extinguishing little bit by little bit and exposing, all right, the wickedness of this world, okay. This is in the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And the Lord is bringing out the truth. The Lord is showing the whole world the truth, man, about, specifically in this case, the so-called white man, being the devil that the Bible speaks of, the border of wickedness, Esau Edom, okay. Hope this is edifying to the elect. Shalom.